The trustees have a few suggestions they would like to submit to you.
I think you know what the trustees can do with their suggestions. I don't know what they have to say. It makes no difference anyway. Whatever it is, I'm against it. No matter what it is or who commenced it, I'm against it.
Hello, I am Charlie Simons, your host here on Do Not Talk, talking about two things you're never supposed to talk about, politics and religion, talking to people I'm not supposed to talk to, like Dr. Judy Mikovits. Oh yeah, don't talk to her. Oh no, she got in a whole bunch of trouble. Nah, she's one of those people. Yeah, you don't want to put her on. Yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. Thank you so much for joining me here. I don't know if I tell you enough how much I appreciate you even just watching the shows, liking. If you can hit that like button, you'll be helping me tremendously. Just click that like button, and it's a whole little algorithm thing. Comment down below, comments help with the algorithm, and then the show grows, and it has been, thank God. Because all I got left really is Rumble. For any kind of major platform. YouTube has given me 2 strikes. Facebook deleted every single one of my pages, and Instagram too, which is owned by Facebook. It's all Meta. Google owns YouTube. Never forget that. And never forget what they did to us. Wow. 6 years ago now. Right about May 2020. Suddenly there's this virus, and originally it was called Corona. But then the Corona beer folks down in Mexico got all upset. So they changed the name to COVID, but nobody knew what COVID was, never heard of it. So they made it COVID-19 just to drive that home that, oh, this is the worst one yet. That's the crap they do. Remember the swine flu? The swine flu. When pig farmers started complaining because it was affecting their sales because we stopped eating and buying pork. We weren't even buying and eating bacon. How can you not eat bacon? Well, swine flu. Dang, we can be stupid. My apologies. If you thought the same thing and you quit eating pork, I'm sorry if that offends you. I really am. I value you. I say things that seem to tick people off quite a bit, but that's because I just call it out as it is, as I see it at least. So they changed the name from swine flu to what was it? H1, H factor, trifecta, whatever. And there's a long history of that. I'm trying to think. Oh, what was the last one they tried to pull on us just in time for the 2024 election? Monkeypox. Oh, that's offensive to monkeys. So they started trying to call it something else. It never really caught, especially when we found out, and guys like me and people like Dr. Judy Mikovits started saying it's a sexually transmitted disease, most common amongst homosexual males, this monkeypox. You're not going to walk around. You don't have to, it doesn't matter if you wear a mask or not. Depends on where you wear the mask. You want to wear it over your goodies downstairs. Maybe that might help. I don't know. Chastity belt would be better, but that's what it was. Monkeypox was a sexually transmitted disease. They tried to push that on us, and it's all to keep us home. And it's all to keep us from voting in person. It's all to keep that vote by mail alive. Oh no, we got to do that just to protect you, because we care so much about you. We love you. We care about you. So vote by mail. Don't ask why. Come on. You know our heart. We're Democrats. We love everybody, except for those people over on the right. I love Dr. Judy Mikovits. She's got some stuff we're going to talk about, especially with this new thing that's happening now. Have you seen this guy?
Listen, I'm not saying the hantavirus cruise ship was fake or an industry plant. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is there was arrested on a Disney cruise ship for filming and distributing CP. But you didn't hear a thing about that, did you? Because all the news, almost every news story this week, has been on that hantavirus cruise ship. So when you look up cruise ship, guess what's going to pop up?
Right.
Not that Disney one.
Nope.
I'm not saying I know anything. I'm just the messenger here, right? So I don't know what to believe. I'm not saying it's fake. It's not. Why would you ever think that? Why would you jump to such crazy conclusions?
Why would you ever think that?
I'm just saying it's a little strange. It's not often that a cruise ship is viral on the news and on the internet. 2 in the same week, and one is overwhelmingly more viral, more in the news, front page of every single news. But the other one, it's horrible. I mean, what they're doing is disgusting. No one's heard of it? Again, I don't know. It's just a little weird.
Amen, brother. I don't know why he chose to change his voice like that for effect or something. I don't know. Or maybe he actually sounds like that. That's a possibility. But he's absolutely right. So I decided to test that theory, and I used the most hated of them all search engines, and that's Google. Or really get the truth from Google. Please trust me on this. So I decided to search Google, and he was absolutely right. Cruise ships. Nothing about Disney. Cruise ship busted. Crew on ship busted. Nothing. It was all, he's right. It was that cruise ship nobody's heard of that was down in Central South America, picked up a whole bunch of rats, which had some contaminated poop flowing out of them. That's all it was. Nothing about Disney. And the 27 people being arrested in a sting operation. And people were so upset on the Disney cruise because one was my cabin boy and he was so nice. Another one still had his chef's uniform on when he was arrested. It was absolutely appalling. It was so hard to watch because they seemed to be so nice. They were no, they didn't say seem to be. They were such nice people. They were really nice, especially to your kids. Stupid. But that was the crew. The passengers were outraged on that Disney ship. But you won't find that on the internet, at least not through Google. All right, let's get Dr. Judy Mikovits in. I love her, and you will too if you've never seen her on my show before on Do Not Talk. Are you ready? Hit it.
Pull up a chair and sit over there. There.
Heck yeah, pull up a chair, everybody. Where are you, doctor?
I'm at Godspeak Church in Thousand Oaks, where I immunize and teach people and make sure people don't fall prey to the boogeyman or Satan or anybody else.
That's a good place to be, and that's a good thing to be doing. So I'm hearing a report on the radio today, and the media just adores this kind of stuff, no matter how they feel or how they are politically, and almost 98% of them are far on the left. And they consider it an honor and a privilege to be doing the devil's work just as quickly as possible for his time is short. That's how bad the media is, and I know my entire life. But they are really pushing this hantavirus thing, and it's ramping up. Up here where I am in NorCal, goofballs in the Bay Area are starting to wear masks again and driving around in their solo cars, their little electric vehicle and masks. They love the excitement of it. They see it on TV and getting the little death graphs going. But according to what I've read of what you've reported, there's nothing to it. This Hanta thing is not even exactly what by the person standing next to you if you have it.
Well, and it's not you again. The sequence was injected just like SARS-CoV-2.
Is that true?
The piece of the
Can you
sequence. Yes, I can, but you can't hear me anymore.
Try it again.
They're not going to let us talk. Well, they're not going to let us talk.
Is that what you think is going on?
Well, yes.
Well,
I'm always censored. Yes, it's always censored. That's what Del Bigtree was talking about on the High Wire today. That Verizon censors and YouTube censors, and they make it so they can't talk. They don't want you to know this whole Hanta BS. He's up in Northern California, and people are, but again, the virus and the story is go look at Gene Hackman and his wife last year and look at what they said. Him heavily vaccinated and brain dead, and she died of hantavirus. He didn't die of hantavirus. He died of whatever, because again, the hantavirus was supposedly in the COVID. Can you hear me there? So the
Yeah.
hantavirus, I don't know if you can hear me at all. The
I can.
hantavirus was supposedly in the COVID shot. That was what the patent was. Oh yes, the sequence is there, but hantavirus is a negative strand RNA virus. It literally binds to like dust and silica. It comes from like rat pee and mouse pee in New Mexico, and last hantavirus outbreak, go wait for it, 1993. Oh, I mean, that was Hillary's first victim. Remember Hillary's little whitewater game, 1993? But yeah, go look at 1993, and it killed a village in New Mexico. So our 2009 paper showing the XMRVs, of which SARS-CoV-2 is a xenotropic murine and mouse and monkey related retrovirus with a pararetrovirus with SARS-CoV-2. If you go, and it was published by Beijing, China, not Wuhan, folks, not Wuhan. So it's no accident that Trump's in China saying China virus, China virus. So you see, and Rand Paul's in Congress, and Tony Fauci and the CIA whistleblower just nailed it. And no Democratic part of Congress is there. And just like you were saying, none of this is on the air. And then they drag this footage, the footage from, and the book is called Called for Life. By Kent and Amber Brantley, how loving one's neighbor took us into the heart of the Ebola epidemic. Oh, so there was a convenient little Ebola outbreak in 2014 to cover up the movie Vaxxed. So now you're so desperate, you're going to try Hanta, a bunya virus, and you're going to put it on a cruise ship somewhere near the water. How stupid are you? What is salt water? I think it's positively charged. Oh, so you mean a negative strand virus would hit the water, go pop in the air, just like the vitamin D from the sunshine takes out the flu virus? I mean, they don't know the science enough to make it anything other than comical. And then they use the same footage of during Ebola. Remember when Dr. Kent Brantley, do you know who cured him? Oh, the head of that team is the head in Ventura, California, of the Ventura County Healthcare, and his name is Dr. John Fankhauser. Oh, and we had this little mineral solution. Shall I say Tang? Tang, anyone? You want a little cardio miracle, pro-immune indulsa? You want a little drink? And when we were healing for him and praying for him, of course, we had a lot of prayers out there, but I'm like, hey, they prayed for me to tell you to give him this. and I mean, seriously, go look at John Fankhauser. We played the book Called for Life, Kent and Amber Brantley, and that was their little attempt at stopping the movie Vaxxed and the confession of the CDC whistleblower, who's on trial that we just saw on the highwire.com earlier today. But they got Thornton. Oh, so now he's a fugitive. Oh, wait a minute. You might not have been held fugitive from Fauci all these years? All these years since 2011 when I was kidnapped J6 style. And Sheriff Dean in the Ventura County Sheriff's Department was tricked, literally tricked. And now the guy that tries to assassinate Trump 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, is a judge tells him he's sorry he has to stay in the suicide watch without his little cell phone. Well, they held me in the suicide watch, and this was 10 days after Hillary tried to kill me and play her little game like Whitewater. I mean, you really can't make up how funny God is. And yet they're so desperate. They use the same footage from the CDC on the same day that the high wire has the CDC guy confessing, and they go back to Senator Posey, who tried to take those thousands of pages of documents, the pattern of Rand Paul today. So nowhere do you see the hantavirus unless you're just, stupid, and it's hanging out there of like, how dumb are you? You take a rat and mouse poop virus, and the mouse poop in the bat cave in Wuhan, China, and Shixing Li was the author of the paper published October 31st, Halloween, literally 2 weeks before I was almost killeried. They're so bold in 2011 that November 8th, 2009 was when I was almost killeried. Hillary was on literally at the NIH Criminal Center as the Secretary of State. And I've played this on my X. I've played this on absolutely every talk I've given, whether it be the National Health Federation, which is 71 years. So when you see how desperate they are to repack their old trace, and see that they just don't want you to know that love wins and God wins. And we're going throughout the country and throughout churches immunizing you with oral 3 powdered foods, Cardio Miracle, ProImmune, and Dulsa. And I sent you a picture of the mechanistic pathway today on your phone. And if you could show that on the screen, that
Done.
is ProImmune. There's the answer to Hanta. It's right there. Look at those pathways. You could see right there the chloride islands. Think of it, negative charge, chlorine bleach. Oh, so everybody's walking around bleaching out with freezing pathogens to their skin, cutting micronic holes in their skin. And all they need is a little silver, a little 247 silver. And hey, a little silver mask. If you're going to put a mask on for Hanta, you really want to make sure that that dust particle that is silica, that is actually metallic, that the rat pee stuck to and has probably been there. And oh, by the way, it's in the bat cave. So they collected. I want you to read this paper. It's a meta-analysis. It was published Halloween, and I'm going to show it to you. It's in our book club notes, but I'll show it to you for your show notes. It was published Halloween. I mean, how satanic is that? On that day to mock the God-fearing community and the people, whether Jewish or any of the God-fearing people, the Nation of Islam, who were one nation under God, any of the religions of the indigenous people, whether you be Roman Catholic or Baptist or whatever, nobody celebrates Halloween. They celebrate All Saints Day the next day. And so it's almost comical that this paper, when you go look at the methods of this paper, they say there's bat poop in this cave near the seafood market. Now, I want you to remember in our books about HIV and Ebola and HIV all the way back to 1963, when HIV was created in a lab, as you were saying, as you opened the show. So you see they're circling around back to all of it. Now that the American people can see the insanity of it all, and we can actually make it funny. You know, it's been a long time since I talked to Charlie, but when you're right there in California and they know they've got a liability for HIV, whether you're a citizen or not, if you test positive, oops, all your Black athletes, including Magic Johnson, and anybody who makes less in the ghettos than 72,000 a year, they get free HIV drugs. It would bankrupt California. Well, I'm immunizing up here at Godspeak Church for every variant of HIV and XMRV because, and then we put it in ProImmune like this, because we know Stephanie Seneff's glyphosate. So what ProImmune has in it is glycine, cysteine. So at the molecular level, you make NADPH from glucose and glutamine. I mean, it's all by molecular biology, but there's no such thing as turbo cancer. And your Leidos, Leidos, and I'll show you that if you could get me that envelope there. I'll show you what Leidos did. I think it's just bring the whole bag over here. It's from Leidos, and they just happened to send Judy Mikovits a letter. They just happened to send me a letter here where it says that Judy Leidos Biomedical. I'll hold that up to the screen. My name is Noldy. My name is Noldy.
You might want to cover up that address, though. The address
I don't
on the
care about that address. I just got kicked out of that home. So if you read Leidos, who are they? They are operated by the Frederick National Laboratory for Cancer Research, P.O. Box B, Frederick, Maryland. No, wait a minute. When I left the lab of antiviral drug mechanisms, when I left the National Cancer Institute 2001, I was married. My name is Judy Noldy, PhD. Oh, wait a minute. So how did you get this address? And by the way, I've been screaming for the last 2 years to get the Leidos bioweapon detection system. Anybody want to do that over your head? American citizens? Oh, that's detonating. Oh, the hantavirus or this virus, the monkeypox, everyone that you announced in the beginning of the show can change the frequency on the Leidos biomedical research. Wait a minute, that's not your National Cancer Institute. That's a CIA operative criminal organization that just collaborated with China. And maybe Russia with USAMRIID, the U.S. Army Research Institute of Infectious Disease. You mean those same people who sent anthrax through the mail during 9/11 and then put it in a vaccine? Yep, those people.
Yep.
And then they killed my friend, Bruce Ivans, who had nothing to do with the lab leak from, they don't want me to go psychotic on them, but I am. I mean, this is insane. And the CIA guy just admitted what I've always said since I made the Ebola vaccine, and it works. And I said, wait a minute. The only bat cave in Reston, Virginia, is the CIA, and that was 1994. It's published in the journal Nature. Oh, you mean the fraudulent medical journals? And John Coffin is a Tufts University professor. What are they showing you here in California? The fraud is not the Leering Center. The fraud is in hospice. And I'm talking to my audience here. Oh, the fraud is in how that fentanyl went straight. The fentanyl combined with the morphine killed the people in the hospitals in California. They called it COVID. and they literally, we knew exactly when they were going to die when they mixed that amount of COVID. So what is our fearless President Trump and Bobby Kennedy doing? They're exposing the China, let's say Wuhan in China, and maybe they're exposing a collaborative effort to get the bad guys out of all our nations, because in fact, the company I'm the chief scientific officer for, Genius, Genyous, Chinese guys with a spelling problem, and half of our Japanese collaborators, Dr. Antoine Chevalier, the CEO of the company Dulce, so a botanical sweetener with 0 sugar alcohols. Anyway, so and now we've got Proimmune, and it's going to cover for both the pine needle tea fiasco that never was Suramin, and President Trump is going to force Bayer Monsanto and the FDA. Oh, he resigned all right because we got him by the short hairs, as my Cherokee mother used to say. So just saying, Pastor Rob told me to lose the Cherokee, but I said, oh, it's so much fun. And he's like, no, you're supposed to be praying for him. I said, I am. I'm praying they meet God, that Jesus, before they meet God the Father, because they're going to need a defense attorney where they're going.
Gonna need a defense attorney.
So you see,
Okay,
you
funny.
said you wanted to have some fun. So I just laid out.
I want to have fun, but I also want to get the information out too. You know what, Dr. Mikovits, that I've recently got a new way of thinking about this whole thing, because as I've been saying for several years now, it's an election year, so it's time for a new outbreak of some kind of something to keep us shut up, shut down, shut in. Especially if they can cancel 4th of July, which is happening here in California right now. Governor Hairdo shut down the one in Long Beach.
He tried
the
to
whole
do
thing
that
about
a few
Patriots.
years ago.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
well, he fully
they
did
shut
do
down.
it.
We
He
had the
did do
most
it.
fun at fireworks ever when he shut them down in 2020. We ran them from block to block. The sheriffs were one. Oh, I can't wait for him to shut the fireworks down, because what we do at the Channel Islands and Ventura Harbors, it's just like when me and Brianna Ladapo took our little recumbent bikes and pulled all the signs down when they said you couldn't walk on the beach. Oh no, that's not happening. We're gonna have
don't
even
ever
more
forget
fun.
these things. Don't forget that they did these things to us. So I'm convinced now, though, what happened when Nancy Pelosi said we have to pass a SAVE Act, and they were paying hospitals, doctors, med centers. They were paying them to treat COVID patients. So suddenly the flu went away and everything became COVID. Let me remind you of all this. Everything became COVID, including motorcycle accidents. Everything came COVID because they were getting tens of, even hundreds of thousands of dollars suddenly because they had to have this help. Well, at the same time, we who lost our jobs to COVID, and I was one of them, Salem Media Group, I was one of a mass firing of almost 100 of us because the business just went away. Nobody's advertising on their radio stations because nobody could open their doors. Suddenly they found themselves in trouble. So all of us were getting extra special high unemployment benefits, especially if you were incarcerated in prison, apparently, in California. And I'm getting like double what I would normally get on unemployment. I'm like, I'm going on a road trip. This is fantastic. Not getting paid all this money to work, getting paid all this money. Well, it didn't dawn on me that with this Hanta thing coming in just in time for this year's election, that there'd be people who would want that, who would be excited about it. Watch this. I want to get your thoughts on this, Dr. Judy.
Okay.
This is pretty powerful here. Here we go.
Have seen this, but people are literally begging for another COVID 2.0 scenario with hantavirus. Like, they actually want it to happen. Now, if you've been tending to IRL things and haven't been chronically online, which I applaud you. You might not even know what hot is, but apparently it's some sort of outbreak that happened from a cruise, and it's because of rat poop or something. In the comments of the, you see a bunch of people saying,
She went silent. And they're literally sequences in poop, and it's not a retrovirus. It's a negative strand RNA. So anything positive, salt water, will kill it. Go get a saline if you want. That's why ProImmune and a ton of, because what it really is glyphosate poisoning. It's really stupid. Oh, good. Can you hear me? We can't hear her. Sorry, we couldn't hear her, but we know what she was saying.
Crazy.
No hearing again.
People right now.
It is. Yes. Can you hear me?
I can. We lost the connection for a second. That is so true,
Okay,
though.
great.
There are people who are actually
people want it because.
Go ahead.
Yeah, people want it because they're losing the game. They know we're outsmarting them. They're rats backed against the wall. So they're even so stupid to try Hanta. I mean, that's easier than SARS-CoV-2. At least they could block the sun.
Right. Here's something. Get rid of your pet rats, but they're not pets. Never love anything that can't love you back. But anyway, all that aside, I'm sure there are rodent lovers who are just all distressed that I would dare to suggest that. But I hope that I'm listening to the radio. To the report comes across one of the networks, one of the crappy line networks, and they made the mistake of putting one of the latest victims, who was an actual cruise ship employee, on the air, and he said, well, it was basically just like I had flu symptoms. Maybe I had flu symptoms because you had the stinking flu, and you're on a ship, and it's one of the smaller ones, and it's a floating petri dish, and somebody gets the flu is very contagious, and flu is happening, and it's still there, and it's a different strain every year. Maybe you just frickin' got the flu, but they're calling it this Hanta thing, which has got a nice scary name, doesn't it? Hanta, hunting, haunted. It's very scary. What the heck is that?
Well, that's why you need guys like you.
I'm asking the questions. I don't know. I just know it's election year, so I knew they were going to pull something. Here they got it. And it covered up the cruise ship. The Disney employees busted for child porn on a cruise ship for me. It's covered that up, got that right off the front page, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's actually funny because I really do think Americans are just grabbing the popcorn and enjoying the pantomime. I know we are up here at Godspeak Church. That's what we do. We can't wait to watch the High Wire, and we're having so much fun watching that. What was it, a 3-hour testimony, the CIA in Congress yesterday? Ron Johnson just eviscerated him. He's so good. And
Your
not a single
experience.
Democrat shows up. Hey, maybe the Democrats all got the Hanta.
Maybe they caught the hunter. That's it. Your
Well, they're all
experience. So they are all rodents. That is very true. They're the rodent genus. But you have paid the price. You have gone through so much in your life. You're a blessing to so many. I hope that people will reach out to you through your website. Do you still have your medical supply and things like that on your website?
Yeah, we do a lot more on X today because we're censored, but the real drjudy.com or the bestimmunesupport.com, you'll find all the powders you need, recipes for Hanta, no matter what variant it is. Oh, they got a bunch of variants, so wait, if they get away with this one, we got one a year from Southeast Asia. That's why you need your international certificate of vaccination or prophylactic. Just go to your federal government and get the yellow card, seriously, and then you will be, hang on, and I'm going to tell you where to order them from, because we're going to give you solutions.
Okay.
And
because that might be coming too. If they can ramp up enough fear and people actually start freaking out about it, and they start showing up at hospital emergency rooms because I think I got the Hanta. I read somebody told me I've got the Hanta, and they're showing up at they did during COVID, and all it was a common cold. But next thing you know, hospitals don't get paid common cold. Oh yeah, you got the COVID. Oh, how do you know that? Oh, we did a test with this little swab we jammed up into your brain. Oh yeah, where'd that swab come from? China. What's on that swab? So much crap. I can't believe we lived through it.
Actually, I think it was the CIA.
You do.
Rest in Virginia. Forget China. It's closer to the Washington, D.C., the swamp. I think swamps have a lot of rats.
Yes, they do. Swamps do have a lot of rats. So what's your website again?
TheRealDrJudy.com. TheRealDrJudy.com.
Good. And another great thing that she has there too is if you did take the shot, the COVID shot, or even a flu shot, I don't do flu shots either.
All shots after 2009 were COVID shots. So get over it. Every single flu shot was a COVID shot. Every DTaP, every MMR, that's what they're exposing. Every shot was a COVID shot after our science paper in 2009 proved the contaminants in the adjuvants would cause all of these diseases, especially the one called autism. So it's real easy, President Trump. Save all of Americans and stop the shootings and assassination attempts. Force Bayer Monsanto to put into Trump RX Suramin. We want Suramin. We will cure autism. We want peptide T, also called DAPTA. Hey, Congress was screaming for peptide T. Well, our dear colleague, the late, great Candace Pert, Molecules of Emotion. Oh, you mean we've had peptide T for HIV/AIDS and all AIDS-associated malignancies? Oh, you mean brain cancer? Oh, you mean every one of those cancers? We've had that. We have type 1 interferon from the Nation of Islam, Tony Muhammad, from Dr. Alim Muhammad, Paximune, Paximune, the only true vaccine. And the criminal FDA put bovine proteins in supplement. No, Vaca means cow dummies, and it's a vaccine. Approve it immediately and apologized in the Nation of Islam, because they could have stopped all of this, including HIV/AIDS and the spread through our athletes and Tiger Woods. I mean, we don't need to be on those SSRIs and all those opioid painkillers. Let's bring back the weed. Just saying. We got cannabis. Well, Trump's doing everything everything we needed them to do by making it Schedule 3. You get the crap out of the game. You get the great grows like we were doing with my godson, Andrew Serafini, right there in those counties. Yeah, we've got some great formulations that would heal a burn wound in a burn victim and heal cancer and heal autism, along with Suramin. I mean, that the sky's the limit, and it should have all been approved. We gave FDA Marty McCary a hard drive on February 9th for it right there at the Maha Institute in Washington, D.C., with those 8 drugs and all the data for one called Oncogenics, one called, and we've held the patent in Genius Omnitura, Chinese guys with a spelling problem. Oh, they happen to be from pharma, J&J and Stanford Research Institute, and actually the system worked. But the cures were turned into bioweapons there at Fort Detrick by a special volunteer. Oh, he's special, named John Coffin, and he's also a professor at Tufts University in Boston. So how do you get an AIDS drug resistance program across the campus at Fort Detrick from where I led as the director of the lab of antiviral drug mechanisms? You mean we were curing it at the National Cancer Institute? And the National Communistic Laboratory of the CIA called Leidos, the bioweapons they're detonating in the airport, detonating the bioweapons they've injected, why don't I say since 1953 or 34? Oh, you mean we can carry those sequences latent in our genome? And when they're expressed, when they're hit by the 6G or the 5, it's Leidos. And it's made by a company called Implant Biosciences. We've all been implanted because criminal Harold Varmus, director of the National Cancer Institute, but he's a Nobel Prize winner. No such thing as an oncogene. God didn't make cancer-causing genes. God gave you protections from every poison under his providence forever. I like alliteration. Anyway, from the pathos, the disease, the doctors call everything idiopathic. Yeah, the idiots don't know the pathogenesis, but we do. I think you wanted a comedy routine. You told me it was supposed to be funny.
I love having fun. I always have fun with you. I try and keep up. I'm smart enough, but not that well educated. Dropped out of junior college, so a lot of times words get thrown out. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Don't ask.
All you need to do is farm a little weed.
That's the problem. I've the cannabis thing, the healing aspect of it. First of all, because I don't want to be high. I hate weed. I don't want to be high all the time. I think it's a complete waste of time and a waste of life. But California seems to be enamored with it. So does now Oregon, and legalized everything. Absolutely, in Oregon, everything. This is insane what it's doing to our society. But I know
actually not. You're wrong, because it's not the psychoactive.
Well, I know in the beginning of our United States of America, the cannabis plant, or hemp, was very popular to make clothing, to make paper, to actually build things with and utilize. And it had great healing properties, but we were stopped from actually trying to explore that because, hey, by the way, now it's illegal. So they can't, it just all kind of went away. And that's because there's the high aspect of cannabis, but then you take that TCP, THC, whatever it is, out of it. Now it's got some truly healing properties. However,
it's not
and this
true
is the
that
problem
the
still have with
THC
it.
is taken out of it. You need the THC to dim the flame.
Okay. Oh, well, good. I want to ask you more about that. Let's hold that for a second. but I want to finish this point.
Sure.
Where is it coming from? We have drug cartels growing pot on our soil, in national parks, state parks, even county parks, hiding it in great swaths of land. We don't have the resources to patrol it all. These grows are going. People stumble onto these grows. Next thing you know, they're killeried, as you say. They're disappeared. They're voluntold to get off the planet forever. They're killed, they're murdered because they stumble onto these grows. These are cartels, not even from the United States of America, doing these grows, selling it to these dispensaries. Nobody's monitoring any of this. There might be some legal grows, but how? None of it's regulated, at least not in California. It's out of control. So it makes me want to just stay away from the whole thing altogether, because I don't want to promote or promulgate that habit of us going to anybody who decides they're going to grow it. Like suddenly pot is a farmer's market kind of thing. I'm waiting for it to show up there. Maybe it is already, and I just don't know where to look. But what are your thoughts on that? Because you said you have a family member that actually was growing marijuana. Did you freeze up? Are you gone? What happened? You still there?
That level of anger. Are you?
Oh,
Yeah.
this sucks. Dang it. What's going on? We start talking about stuff like this and you keep going away. It's a dad blame conspiracy. The first time this happened was when I was talking with Renette Sinham, and she started explaining to me about MK Ultra. I was so ignorant. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't know anything about it. And but I'd heard. So I thought, well, I'm going to ask her. She knows a whole lot. She's really super smart, like Dr. Judy. And this kept happening three times. She kept just going away. Suddenly couldn't hear me. Everything would freeze up. She had great Wi-Fi. I had great Wi-Fi. There was no other explanation for it than somebody was screwing with the broadcast. And that's kind of how it feels right now. I don't know if that's true, but I can hear you, Dr. Judy, messing with something, but we can't see your face now.
It's absolutely true, and you're full of static. Yes, and I love the example you gave of Renette Sinham and MK Ultra, because again, this game, and it's a horrible, vicious game, with the children. It is what President Trump has to make sure with and Bobby in the farm bills, because USDA. So you see, it's not the cannabis, and hemp makes rope. So please have your audience watch the High Wire as they talk about and the Senate hearings and Bobby talking, I believe on May 4th, about how valuable hemp is to our industries for fibers, so we won't have to take all the off-gassing poisons, and we'll get.
And it's easier to grow, and it's easier to turn into pulp than wood.
Right,
I mean, we still want wood for building.
Well, and wood pulp, on the other hand, they let you have DMSO, which is deadly DMSO from wood pulp. They call that organic. And you know, hemp and the cannabinoids, they're not foods to nourish our cells. They're foods to nourish our plant and animal cells. We get our nourishment from our endocannabinoid system during breastfeeding. THC is a synthetic product, and we shouldn't be having CBD in hemp. It makes rope out of your lungs. So then you try to use the natural flavors that are loaded with glyphosate in these vape pens. And for 50 years, the only cannabis that anybody could do research on from the time I did this at Johns Hopkins with a guy named DiMarzo, Dimarzo from Italy, and at Johns Hopkins. And we developed these fabulous wound healing botanical drugs. Again, they're under a physician's instead of the poisons in the vape pens. And that's part of the propaganda on the commercials. So you're getting all angry about the China and the cartels. No, it's Hillary's game plan all over again. She's going to make you sick. She's going to take away the cure, the peptide T, the Proimmune, the Paximune, the Dulce, the Cardio Miracle. Oh, you're going to take away the botanical drugs that will replace the adjuvants and make the entire vaccine hypothesis of hundreds of years actually work the way God intended. Yeah, a good idea spoiled by a little fact. Well, now that we have a little corruption because Genius Omnitura and Epigenics Pharmaceuticals and the National Cancer Institute and Mark Inc., Mikovits and Rossetti Consulting, who expert witness in vaccine court to see the injuries. Oh, so you mean if we see the injuries sooner and we don't inject kids at key times of growth, and then we change out the polyethylene glycol and the formaldehyde and the monkey cells, and well, they already took the monkey cells out. That was the problem with the paper in 2009, because when you inject, what did Harold Varmus start in 1999 at the NIH? The xenotransplantation program. Xeno means foreign. Oh, so you mean when you inject foreign animal, monkey, mouse, aborted fetal cell line, mRNA, DNA, and protein, when you disengage the dimmer switch on inflammation, then you have chronic inflammatory disease. Then you have inflammaging. Our fat is toxic. Our animal fat is toxic. We're getting fatter and fatter from drinking the chemicals called acetaldehyde. It's not alcohol. You know, everybody's drinking Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. It takes chemicals to get the alcohol out of the drink. That's not what.
Same with the caffeinated coffee, by the way.
That's right. Correct.
That's why I don't drink decaf.
Coffee, and you need clean coffee. What gives you clean coffee? What keeps the mold away from your coffee beans? Oh, do you mean when the wheat matures, the farm gets wet? Oh, they want to pour glyphosate on it as a drying agent in the basins or the silos across the country. Is there any reason why Trump at the federal level had to say, with the geoengineering in Wigington? So you see, I say this way because they know how, and Congress and the Senate are the corrupt ones. So they know this is a takeover of our country, and Trump, Kennedy are trying to stop a civil war or the next pandemic or the next plague. Oh, what were how many plagues in the Bible? 7 or 12 plagues. Oh, you got circadia. You got because you need the cannabis in the ground to make strong plants, strong food, strong cows, strong ruminants, not sheep that are falling down from, but that was Jesse Gelsinger when they killed him and they called it mad cow disease. So what's the problem with Wellcome Trust? The second reviewer of that science paper was a student of Fat Boy Stoy, Jonathan Stoy. Why was he controlling our blood supply? in the summer of 2009, 10, 11? Who was the fraud in the contaminated blood supply that led every variant of HIV, including the variant now called Lyme disease? A virus is an obligate parasite. The parasite needs the virus to survive, and the virus needs the parasite to survive. They always go together. Borrelia didn't cause Lyme disease. That's the acute one you use doxycycline for. We got that in an immunization.
Doctor?
Yes, dear. I'm blowing his brain.
Well, you are, but you're also recalling things I wanted to talk to you about, but I didn't want to take up too much of your time. But a friend of mine literally took his own life because of the pain he was in from Lyme disease. Lyme disease is a very real, awful, horrible thing.
It's HIV.
It's from a tick.
No, it's
transmitted
not.
by ticks. That's what everybody tells you. Now,
Have you
seen these boxes, these metal boxes being dumped on farms and so on, full of ticks, and nobody knows where they're coming from?
Those are the weaponized one, but they have to put it in the environment to take the blame out of the needle it's been in for the since 1963 or 53, just like SV40, simian virus 40. It took 40 viruses to find one that caused a disease. Do you think they were immunizing you? Do you think they were teaching your immune system? They call it feedback loops. You see, nobody understands anything. And again, oh, you're afraid they're driving in the night and they dump the ticks. That's a cover up. It's a cover up. The ticks won't hurt anybody. Just send out a ladybug or pee on it. Do a little urine therapy, like Ed Group says. Or better yet, let the cows pee on it, because the methane gas and the amount of cyanide. Oh, let's go find Brian Artis, the snake venom, the cyanide in our water. Yes, it always was in the water, but there's a whole lot more to snake venom than a little peptide. There's a whole lot more to snake venom. And here our fifth graders can't even spell Gila monster, much less do they know that's the only one that spits.
Oh, good Lord. My only hope is that you mentioned Bobby Kennedy. I pray that he is effective, because he seems to know a lot of this stuff already. And people are saying, well, how come things aren't moving faster? They're all getting frustrated because there's machinations in government that's set that way on purpose, with the swamp, with the deep state, that are grinding any kind of progress to a halt. And I do believe, honestly, this is all about New World Order, one world government. Keep everybody, rule them through fear, make them willing to give up their freedoms so Big Daddy government can protect them. But then President Donald Trump was the wrench thrown into the works that they did not want or expect, and they did everything they could to keep him from getting reelected. And we're seeing it now. We're seeing the effects of it. What he's doing is extraordinary. And then people on our side, Judy, or at least my side, I don't know about you politically, I'm on the right. I'm slightly to the right of Attila the Hun. So I am
you can tell he hasn't read my book.
I am embarrassed.
Or I'm related to Attila the Hun.
There you go. I'm embarrassed, though, by my own brothers and sisters on the right, especially the Christian conservatives, who are saying, I'm not even going to vote in the midterms because nothing's happening. Nobody's getting arrested. I quit.
Well,
I'm embarrassed.
If you would listen to my book club on X last night, where Mickey Willis, I played Mickey Willis's book Plandemic. Listen, they tape it, and we talked about that. What you don't realize is they're telling you it's not moving fast enough. It's moving at the speed of light. These things are already cured before they try to drop it on us. People are laughing at them. They're coming to churches in droves to get immunized. They're smart enough to go buy that government form. It's right there on our X. I'll post it again tonight, or I'll text you the show notes, and then
Good.
we'll give you 3 simple powders, and not only in a great cannabinoid formulation called Fixed, a nutrient base, to acid extract of hops. And then we'll give you a CO2, a carbon dioxide extract of hops. Did I say cannabis? Oh, I could do that too. And when you use the Harlequin strain, oh, it goes both ways, just like Rahab. I love, my favorite strain is the Harlequin strain. That'll drop an angry kid with autism off the ceiling, along with a little sprinkle of dimethylglycine, in 5 minutes. The Da Vinci brand of behavior balance. It's behavior balance. And then when you have that form right together with the cannabis, and you grab them by the neck, and you get that, I think we call it my godson calls it Hallelujah Cream. Hallelujah Cream at lightdoveministries.com. Buy it. And I mean, we made it in 2014, and it's for PTSD. So you see, we can heal everybody. And now, thanks to Trump, they're going to allow us, because where he's going in all these hearings, to everybody he asked, is what did you know and when did you know it? So it's a come to Jesus moment. And oh, by the way, he's right. The smartest thing he ever did was warp speed. We would have limped along watching our children get killed. It was 10%. It's 30%. Now that Bobby took down all the shots, what do you mean not acting fast enough?
I'm just amazed. I hear that all the time.
But they're acting at the speed of light with no money, with no fiscal authority. Change the nobody knows that the federal government start date, fiscal year, money is October 1st. Oh, so you get elected in November the year before, and what do? The criminal agencies hedge their bets. They fund all the grants. They renew all the crimes. And that, getting a grant out of the can or a paper out of press, those papers of SARS-CoV-2 in 2004, it was submitted in February. Oh, what happened in 2004 after a little 911? Just what you were saying at the beginning of the show, that, we create a little problem here.
Every election year now.
A little military problem.
Every 2 years.
Yeah, every 3 or 4 years. And now we're 6 years into this game after pandemic. So listen to what we played on X last night.
Okay, where do we find that? Where are you on X?
Dr. Judy at Dr. Judy A. Mikovits with an S, not a Z, not Liza with an S, not Lisa with a Z. Oh, the other way around. At PhD, or at Dr. Judy A. Mikovits on X. And we will show you every Wednesday night. We play the books, and we want you to listen to audio. Like, I don't even care if you can't see me at this show, because I come up there, I go give speeches across the country to immunize people. And that means freedom from government tyranny, by the way. In fact, the word vaccine has to mean cow blood. Not one vaccine after 2009 could have cow blood in it. Or, because which cow? Which mad cow disease did you spread? How much did it cost the Wellcome Trust? Mad cow disease. Oh, you mean it was caused by the COVID shot? Oh, you mean they were experimenting on Jesse Gelsinger? I think that was his name. But you see, we were there. the people of integrity of this one nation under God. We were all there working together then as now, as you know. It's like each person, you know, Riza Islam, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan called Bobby, and Tony Muhammad called Bobby Kennedy somewhere around December 2nd or 3rd of 2020, and asked him to come to Chicago and give the science. They asked every scientist, they asked Dr. Neuenschwander, they asked Jack Lyons-Weiler, they asked everybody to come to Bobby Kennedy, me, to come to meet with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and show them why or why not, educate them on whether or not he should recommend to 5 million people in this country, the Nation of Islam, the COVID shot. And the Nation of Islam was among the most targeted. And they're not what you think, and it really doesn't matter what you think, because we're one nation under God, not government. And I'm called to love my neighbor as myself and do exactly for him what I would do for my children. And that's what we did. So I said, okay. We went on December 18th, 2020. That man listened to 8 hours of every one of us with every lecture, and everybody sitting in the room in front of me knows how I talk. But I didn't get to talk to the very end. So I'm like, oh, well, okay then. And I gave 2 slides about your X chromosome and how it was about men protecting women. And here in this country, we don't even know if you're XXSY or no. The number one risk factor for a diagnosis of gender dysphoria is a diagnosis of autism or long COVID. And oh, by the way, the number one cause of death in 2021, when Frank Rossetti and Luc Montagnier and me published absolutely every piece of truth, including that the federal government has the original isolate and can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the National Cancer Institute, that Bob Gallo, Tony Fauci, this was again Ronald Reagan, when he tried to reduce the size of the federal government, they had a lunatic called Hinckley from Yale. And they had a little movie called Silence of the Lambs. So you see, I like to show, like Mickey does in film, or Dell does on the High Wire every week, or books on audio. People can't read because they've changed the names of all the diseases. So Lyme disease is HIV. And the G protein is a sensor for the mammalian target of rapamycin pathway, or the viral pathway of lipopolysaccharides. Oh, the toll-like receptors, and you've got a protection mechanism. In order to stop, your endocannabinoid system will swing away from NF-kappa B, Y glyphosate, in any level. A phosphate group is not dimethylglycine. So do we need nutrients in liquid and powder form? Enter the fabulous Global Healing. And those labs, microsomal, not liposomal, sound waves. You've got sound waves in Bose speakers at the frequency of each plant to optimize its antiviral defense system, rotated, shaken, not stirred. So it's how you make your drink. It's how a pharmacist, hey, I'm a bartender. I know how to mix a drug. I make botanical drugs my whole life. Fermentation is not distillation. And if I leave 1 drop of benzene in my still as a Cherokee in the hills of North Carolina, I will have no clients because they'll be dead. Slowly, Oh, so they had to pull the Hanta BS because Ebola didn't work. It only gave me a little blood pooled in my
Yeah, there's
eye.
there's some kind of norovirus now that they're trying to ramp up too.
They no, they brought that one out back in 1990s too. The norovirus makes you vomit. It's from contaminated food. Or how about men living on the street? How about the homeless in California that Newscomb would just burn out rather than deal with that? Oh, yeah, that's where hepatitis A comes from. I got a shot from that and guarantee it contains a norovirus. So, again, Bobby's done a lot with no money and with a sleight of hand that, but by the time this summer is over, if we can get to every church and every community, especially California, and get them that vaccination, the government issue, CDC issue, WHO. Oh, by the way, the CDC never gave up the control with the
Oh yeah,
WHO.
I know, and everybody thinks that's a government agency. Wrong.
Exactly. So you
Wrong.
see, but the solutions are all there. And I'm telling them to you in films and books and audio. And what that does is hopefully it makes you laugh. You remember my big fat Greek wedding? Okay, so the mom's like, it was probably a vegan. Eat meat? Eat meat? And looks really quizzically into what says, we make you lamb, and everybody's happy, and the person's just like, no, lamb is meat, no, lamb is lamb. And so, but you see, it's funny, but it also, yes, that's it. The Real Dr. Judy, that's the website.
I was looking it up because I wanted to make sure I understood it's not realdrjudy.com. It's the real doctor, therealdrjudy.com. And I'm quite convinced that so much the question I love to ask is always why. Why would they be doing this to us? Well, money is the bottom line, but it's deeper than that. These people are doing the devil's work. I am quite convinced why they're all on board with it is they all truly believe that at least 7 billion of us need to die.
Because they're liable for it.
This is the depopulation I'm talking about.
But it's specific.
Clowns like Bill Gates and the WEF and all these pigs are saying all of these people need to go. This planet can only sustain about 500 million. 500 million people can remain. Everyone else has got to die. How do you kill them off? You start up World War III. A nuclear war is a great way to take out millions. And you do it with the pharmaceuticals and the spraying and the food and the dumbing down all the way around. Make us stupid and take us out. And then people like Dr. Judy come along and go, wait. I'm a scientist. I helped develop some of this stuff. I realize the dangers of it and how they're misusing all of this work that I did with other doctors and scientists, and started blowing the whistle and started calling them out. And then all hell started breaking loose for her. This woman is paid dearly for speaking out the way she does. So I hope you will go to her website, therealdrjudy.com, because even if you took that COVID shot, and I've had shows pulled, by the way, Dr. Judy, because I literally said COVID shot. Remember, we couldn't even say that for a few years, but she's got formulations and ways, natural products to counteract that poison that you have put in your body. Because when at the time you thought, well, I have to do this because everybody's telling me I have to do this. I'm sorry you made that choice. I wish you would have said no, because if more of us would have said no, it may have ended a lot sooner. But we didn't. So she's got ways and formulations, and it's all naturally derived. She's huge on that, believe me. And you'll find them. It's all there at therealdrjudy.com. I love you so much. Every time I see you or you walk into a room where I am, it's like the whole room lights up. Dr. Judy's here. You're so fun to talk to, but you also educate me every single stinking time I learn something new. I'm sorry we didn't get to see your pretty face, though. I don't know what happened with our system here, but At least we got to hear you. And thank you for your time, my friend. Is there anything that we didn't get to cover that you were hoping to talk about?
No, I think we pretty well went around the world and back. How about the dark side of the moon? Why don't we leave with that one?
Oh, that whole NASA scam. That whole freaking thing was such a scam. You want to defund something? Defund NASA. That'll make a lot of people angry that I just said that. They're a joke, and they've been a joke for an awful long time.
We'll leave that for next time.
Leave that for next. I knew it. Nobody wants to talk about that. It's like that. That's a sacred cow. Oh, don't talk about NASA because we like Star Trek. I don't know. Whatever. All right, my friend. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Thank you, Charlie. See you soon.
You bet. She's a kick, man. She's a kick. So thank you so much for joining me. And buy some of my products. You don't realize how much you'll be helping me out if you actually buy some of my products here. Like this mug right here. Let's talk about politics and religion. That's a good one. At charliesimons.com. CHAR. There it is right there. Little tiny writing. CHARLEESIMONS.com. Good luck. Or forget luck. I don't really believe in luck. Give it all to the Lord. He promises a peace beyond all understanding. All you have to do is to ask him for it. We have not because we ask not. Ask him for that. If you're like feeling like this is too much, you can't even stand it. How do we even fight against this? You don't. We give it to the creator of the universe, the one who made everything. Believe me, he doesn't like what's going on either. And he wants to help us. May God bless you and keep you. May God bless America. But most importantly, America, bless God.